walk you through the Seashore preferences. First, use image smoothing. Blurs the images slightly when scaled down to make them smoother. As you can see here, it helps with fine text. If we turn this on, the text becomes a little bit easier to read. In most cases, you don't need to enable this option when working with images. The second faster drawing is a legacy option that is no longer really required. If you do find that Seashore lags when drawing, turning this on can help, although you'll have less smoother drawing. They'll always use crosshair. You can see here when I take the paintbrush, I get a paintbrush as the cursor. If I turn on always use crosshair, then I get a crosshair cursor, which can all be very nice when you're zoomed in highly to work with individual pixels. The Create New Document Startup determines whether or not Seashore automatically shows the new image dialog when it starts. And lastly, Zoom to fit document and open. The Seashore remembers its last window size, and when it opens a document, it will automatically zoom to fit the entire image in the viewing window. New Images allows you to configure these defaults that appear when a new image occurs, including the units, the resolution, the mode, and whether or not the bottom layer is transparent. The colors, let's come over here and let's turn on an alpha channel on the image, and let's erase some of the image. So that's the checkerboard showing through to show the transparent area. You can also change that to a color and change that color if you wish. I prefer the checkerboard. The selection shading is, if I select an area of the image, all drawing is limited to that area. And you have two options. If you don't turn on the marching ants, it will color the area outside the selection with your chosen color. You can also use the view colors, rotate selection shading to move between them, or quickly move between them with the keyboard. Or you can use the marching ants, and then the color also determines the color of the ants. And some people prefer this. The layer bounds, let's create a new layer here. And let's fill this in with a color so we can see it. And then let's trim the boundaries to the content. So you'll notice here that the selection shading says, if I am working with a layer, so here layer 2 is smaller, I'm going to use the selection shading, which will make black there, to show me everything outside of it, to color everything outside my layer. I can also always force this to white, and if I like, similar to the marching ants, I can instead use boundary lines, which if we turn off the selection here, you'll see we get the lines around the layer to better define it. And this is key if we take some erase part of this image here. The boundary lines help to show you how big the layer actually is. The guide color is, as you zoom in deeply, you'll get we're on the transparent. We need to go over. Let's delete this layer here. And let's zoom. We'll show a grid when you're zoomed in, and you can change the color of those guidelines to be something that doesn't conflict with your image. The cyan and the magenta are usually pretty good for this, or the yellow. Lastly, we have we call the canvas shadow. Right now we don't see it because I have my window frame being black, but watch if we change my window frame to gray. We get a little shadow around the canvas. And you can instead turn that shadow off if you like. You can also use the default, which is black. Thank you for supporting Seashore. Look forward to my future videos.